Hey, Pepper people, great to have you here with us today. I know, it's been a little while, but before fall really starts to get into wintertime and all of our plants start dying off here real soon, I wanted to take you around and get a good look at them, see where we are, to give you all a real good update. So, all right, everyone, thank you again for being here today. And as I was saying, the growing season sure really kind of got away from me a little bit here over the last couple of months. And, working a full time job, having all these other projects going on, time has been really kind of limited in being able to get some of this sort of stuff done. And and that losing the computer and all of that in the storm a couple months back, that sure didn't help at all. But here we are today. I want to kind of take you around, like I said, and show you some of our different pepper plants and all of that too. I do want to say, we labeled this the ultimate pepper growing guide, and I really do stand by this. It's worked really great for me for many years. All these different tactics and ideas and things that we've done and put together to create this whole system basically for growing out our peppers here. But really, ultimately, when it comes down to it, there's got to be a lot of good follow through. And that's where all of these problems and things, like I said, the limited time and everything comes in. And for the most part, all of our plants and for, growing out throughout the different spaces in the garden have done pretty well. We've harvested a bunch of great peppers off of them over the last couple of months. There's a few that aren't quite as well as I'd want them or hope for them to be able to do, but I'll caveat that with all the fact that it's really user error. Really, sometimes we as gardeners and these sort of situations happen where, we can't really fulfill the needs of our plants. And in a lot of the cases that we'll see throughout this look around and everything, that is the case. You know what I mean? I didn't follow through with a lot of the things that we needed to do in order to keep them at their full growing potential. But like I said, for the most part, the plants have done really well, and we've gotten lots of great peppers off of them. We'll show you some here today. But again, thank you all for being here. Thanks for following along with this playlist here. I also want to say that I do plan and intend on keeping this playlist rolling, especially as we move through the winter. I want to do an overwintering video. We'll do that as we get through this winter time and growing into our next season and all of that. I've got some plans with some of the varieties we're growing. So we'll keep it going and we'll keep it rolling right into this next growing season. So our ultimate pepper guide is not done at all in the least, but it has been kind of a rough go these last couple of months. So, all right, let's get this little garden tour or pepper tour started up on our rooftop garden. So for the most part, this patch has actually done a little better than I expected. And that's because they really got a real late start. It took a little while to get them up here and get this rooftop garden set up. They suffered a little damage in the storm, as we showed earlier before. And ultimately, again, I just wasn't expecting too much out of these plants. But for the most part, we did get some good amount of peppers off of some of them. and a couple of them not so much. But let's start right here real quick. We've got our habanada. This here is a no heat habanero, and as we can see here, we're looking, it's now, and again, as we're cooling off, these had to deal with a lot of heat as well too right off the bat as they were growing, as we put them up here pretty much in the middle of our summer heat as it was really kicking in. But yeah, we got lots of little pods that are forming on these right now, so I hopefully we'll be able to harvest some good ripe ones off of here in the next week or two as they are starting to ripen up. But again, as you can see, for the most part, these plants are also starting to deal with the cool weather. And this one here, oh man, just looks really, really rough. In fact, one of the ones I just didn't expect anything out of. But we got a couple of little tiny fruits here forming, a couple that are still trying to form as well too up here. But we'll see what we get off of this here. This is the Kang Star Orange Flame. Orange Flame is what this one's called. But yeah, we'll probably only get a couple of fruits off of it. Seems like there's about a few of them there too, which again, like I said, they're now starting to grow out of the summer heat and forming some fruits. This one over here's got, again, too, lots of new fruit coming off of it. And as you can see, we've got some ripening fruit too that are about ripened up here. This one here is our Trinidad Sweet. Here's another one right over in here as well. The Trinidad Sweet. Again, I don't know this one here. It says sweet, but I have a feeling that they're just sweet in their flavor as much as they're hot as well too. So we'll definitely have to test those out and check out what the heat level is on those. But if they're anything like the Trinidad Scorpion, I'll be a little wary of actually taste testing that myself. Maybe I'll find a friend to figure it out for me. But yeah, again, it's putting off a lot of new fruit right now as well, as you know, it kind of started cooling down here early or late summer, early fall. But I don't know how long it'll take before we start getting our first frosts here. And this one here is our Ozark Giant. Really not much of a giant. I mean, this plant really hasn't grown too big. Some of our other Ozarks that we have around the garden, a lot bigger, a lot more production off of them. But look at these. I mean, they're really producing lots of fruit, no matter what the size of the plant is. Some new fruit coming off here as well as some flowers still forming on the plant, looking to grow more fruit. So we'll have to start picking these off of here, start using them up. I've been getting lots of them off of our plants that are down in the alleyway. We also have I think one of them down on the patio as well too. But yeah, not too bad as far as production for what ended up being a really small, stocky plant for sure. And then over here, we've got our chocolate carbonaro. And we've got one of these as well down on the carport area too. We'll take a look at here in a minute. But yeah, again, starting to put off lots of new fruit as well as some really beautiful, beautiful pods coming off of that. It's so shiny and nice. So this one's really, really doing well. Really happy with this one here up on the rooftop garden. Lots of ripening, beautiful looking chocolate fruits off of that. And again, you want to watch out for your chocolate varieties. Those things are going to be hotter than their counterparts, the more regular, you know, red varieties and all of that. But yeah, really awesome. Here's one that I've grown in past years and gotten some really great fruits off of. And we also have another one too down in the carport. and it's not really producing too much fruit. Hasn't really produced really anything other than I did notice that we have one right down here that's starting to form up here, but this is the Primotalii. This one here is the competitor, or the other variety similar to a Carolina Reaper in its heat. And if you want to check out, I'll put a link down below too to a live stream that we did with a friend of mine who taste tested one of our fruits that we grew off of a plant a couple years back. But yeah, not too happy with the production on these. We'll still see if we can't get something off of it. And it's, again, a little heads up on what we're going to look up down in the carport. There wasn't much of anything on that one as well. But here's a super producer. This is a real super producer. This is one I've talked about many times. I got these seeds from a friend of mine over in Norway, Christopher Bransdahl, and I've been growing it each and every year. This plant I took from the original seeds that I got from him several years ago, and we grew this one out as a original, so we can show that this is kind of a long type of pod here. And I have another one down on the patio that I'm going to show you as well too, that I've kind of been breeding out a different characteristic that showed up in one of the pods early on. So each year I've been kind of growing those to kind of grow them out and see if we can't get a plant that can produce mostly that type of difference in that pod. It's going pretty well. I'll show you here in just a minute. Yeah, here's some nice ripe ones there. Like I said, it's a super producer, man. This thing's got tons and tons of fruits all over the plant. It's the same thing with our other one as well. And then this one over here is our King Star Peach Pumpkin. We're going to take a look at this one here. And not very much fruit, similar to the other one that has formed throughout the season, but seems as it's started to cool off. I've been finding, like, here's one. Nice little one that's starting to form here. And then I see several others throughout the plant right now. Again, I'm not too sure how well they're going to ripen up or grow to their full potential, but they are starting to produce little fruits that are starting to form off of some flowers and everything. But again, like I said, overall, I'm not too sure exactly what we'll get from some of those plants or the Primotalii. Look at this one here too. Here's one of those habanadas. So yeah, I'm gonna have to taste one of those here soon as well, as they're starting to ripen up. Got plenty of those off of this plant. But all in all, it's a good start for our pepper patch up here on the rooftop garden. This next season, hopefully we'll do even better as we'll get them up here. We've already got pots here. We'll add to the garden and do more with them, grow some more different varieties. But all in all, we'll hopefully have a better season next one. Going through and picking these out here, I almost missed this one here. So our Primotalii actually is producing one. Look at that. It's got a nice little hook on the pod there, which is a big characteristic of it in the Carolina Reaper as well too. But yeah, this one should be ripening up here in the next week or so too. But yeah, that's a dangerous pepper right there. So all right, now let's go down and check out our peppers on our back patio. So down here among all of our Prax cherry tomato plants here that we have growing along our fence line on the back patio, we've got some pepper plants that we planted in ground. We've got some nice jalapenos here growing and ripening up. Look at that nice corking on those. So we got some that are, yeah, they're growing in there amongst them all. We've got this variety here, our Dos Landes. I just love these peppers. This one ought to be ripening up here real soon. And one I've grabbed several off of already. Here's more of those Ozark Giants that we have. And there's a couple more in there. But what we really want to be looking at here is right along here in our 5-gallon wicking buckets. We've got several different varieties here growing. And here's some ripe ones of those Dos Landes. Just a awesome sweet pepper. And again, it looks like it's a gonna be a hot pepper. You know, it's got that look to it, nice and red and long and skinny, sort of like a cayenne or a serrano or something. But yeah, really delicious, very sweet, ultra sweet actually, really great. And here's more of those Ozark Giants. And again, they're starting to put off lots and lots of pods right now. Plenty ripening up in there too. Let's see here. Next to that, we've got our Lesia. Really love this variety. They got these really cool, like heart-shaped pods. And again, a very delicious, ultra sweet pepper for sure. Here's a nice one ripening up. Look at the color on that. Just a beauty. Can't wait to get on and eat that one there too. And next to it is another just really amazingly tasty pepper. I really like both of these ones here, the Lesia, and this one here is a Etuda, is from Baker Creek Heirloom Seed Company. And I got, look at that, nice big delicious orange pod. Just the color on that's just amazing. Got another one right down there that's starting to ripen up. And there's a few more in there. And then here's that Sugar Rush Peach that I was telling you, the other variety. So with this variety here, what I've been doing is, and it's starting to produce more and more. And as I was saying, right here at the top though, they seem to be kind of going to normal. Whereas the ones growing down towards the bottom seem to be carrying this characteristic. As you can see, like the one we had up on the rooftop there. But if you look at these down here, like this one here, which again, I got it marked for saving seeds as we kept this one isolated until the fruit formed. But they have like this curling, or the tips are kind of growing inward and creating a cool indentation to them. Some of them just a little bit, you know, not as much so, and then some of them are really kind of pinched in there. Got another one here too, this one here. But yeah, I'm just kind of trying to grow these out. Here's another one I'm saving seeds from, and look at that one. And these are the variety, these are the type that we want to be seeing on the plant, mostly growing on the plant. And probably another few more generations or so, as we'll be saving seeds each and every time, as I have for the last couple of seasons, of these particular pods. And we're starting, like I said, we're starting to see more and more of it throughout the plants. And again, too, more on these early ones that are showing up. But hopefully in coming generations, they will continue to grow throughout the plant. And once we get a really high percentage of these pods on there, then that's when I'll start saving seeds and sending those out, as we'll have our own variety that we've bred down from the Sugar Rush Peach. And yeah, I'll have to come up with a cool name for them to kind of add on to the Sugar Rush Peach name when we get there. But really kind of fun. Just some of the experimenting and fun you can have with growing your own peppers and trying to get really cool characteristics grown out of them. And let's see here, right next to that, we got another one of those Ozark Giants, and this one's really starting to put off some nice big fat pods for us. More like the giants that we're looking for. Definitely, we've gotten a few off of it already, but a good producer for us. We've got a few more of these growing out in the alleyway as well too. So yeah, delicious, great pepper. Hopefully though too, we'll get a better garden out of those next season and get some really big fat ones. And here's another one too I want to show you guys here. This one is called the Testarossa, and this one's another one of those kind of dark peppers, and it's got several nice pods on it, but when it ripens up, kind of ripen to a nice, I mean, look at the color on that. Just really cool, almost like a translucent red almost, but really awesome, really great. This is another variety that I'm trying to save seeds from as we've isolated them. And I'll just kind of show you here. We've got another one. I should take this one off actually. That pod's been growing for a little while there, but all I'm doing here is using these little mesh bags, and what we're doing is, and I don't have any flowers on this one here to show you, but we're just kind of taking a little Q-tip, and we're self-hand pollinating our flowers just as they're starting to pop out. So what I'll do is I'll cover them up before the flowers have opened up, and once they open up, I'll kind of get in there real quick, we'll hand pollinate them and then recover them again, and then they'll start to grow their pods. And when the pods start to form, we'll take off these mesh bags and let them grow out, and then we'll save seeds for them for next year as we've isolated these, and we know then that we'll be able to grow pepper plants that are true to this variety, whereas without isolation you do run the risk of them cross-pollinated, especially growing with so many different varieties of peppers around them. I'll show you kind of a pepper plant that's grown as a volunteer here in a moment. And they can do some weird things when they cross-pollinate, unless you're really working on getting certain varieties to cross together. And again, you can do that with the Q-tip as well. Instead of utilizing that Q-tip on the same variety to get an isolated variety, you can take them from a different plant if you're working to purposely cross those two varieties together. And that's something I haven't quite done yet. Maybe we'll work on in this next season, but definitely going to have some great isolated pods from our two different varieties that we want to grow. And what I'll be doing too here soon, and we'll talk about this and grow some of these out during the winter time, both these, and we'll get another generation of our Sugar Rush peaches, and we'll do those and grow those also as another project we'll work on as we're growing through this winter into next season. So, all right, on to our back carport area here, where we've got several varieties. In fact, I think most all of these are also growing up on the rooftop. But as you can see, our plants here got a lot better start, and they're really growing well. But we also have some similar issues with a couple of the varieties that's the same as going on up top. But let's take a look here at our first one here. As you can see, we've got some nice ripened pods here. This is that habanada variety. This here is like a habanero, but without any of the heat. So if you really want to trick your brain out, for sure, you'd eat one of these things, as it smells and tastes just like a habanero, but doesn't have any of that heat. So you expect it coming, but it just doesn't. But I'll have to give those a try here. And next to that, we have our chocolate carbonaro, as we saw up on the rooftop as well. Look at that beautiful pod. That's just a nice beauty right there. And we got another one right up here as well. A few others throughout the plant, but as you can see, they haven't quite turned that chocolate color yet. Some of them still ripening up here, so look to see those here in the next couple of weeks as they ripen up. And then next to that, we've got that variety we just saw on the patio. Actually, this is the Etuda, with these really beautiful bell-shaped pepper pods that turn this just really beautiful orange color, as these ones are ripening up right now. And it's putting off still several more that are about to ripen up here. Like I said, in the next week or so, those should be ready to all come off of the plant. And then this one here is another of those peach pumpkin, as we saw up on the rooftop. That one on the rooftop actually had one or two pods on it, but I haven't seen any that are actually starting to form on this one. There's still, you know, we got some, well, actually, that's, I was going to say we got some flowers, but that one there is actually that Etuda next to it. But there's a flower right here. We got some flowers on it. It looks like there's some pods that want to start forming. I just don't know if they're going to have time to fully grow and ripen before winter really sets in. And next to that one there, we've got this one here is that Trinidad Sweet that we saw up there with those really cool red pods and all of that. This one's actually got quite a few pods all throughout the plant that are forming. Again, a bit late as things started to cool down. It was just, these were just dropping flowers like crazy throughout the hottest part of the summer. So again, I think a lot of that has to do with some, I took a trip, and again, we've got our water wicking buckets here, and like I was telling you about, some user error, gardener error that happens. So these things work wonderfully if you actually fill them up before you leave, and I didn't do that. I totally escaped my mind to get out here and fill those up. They dried out and really kind of set these plants back as far as producing earlier on in the season, but they're starting to catch up. And again, I don't know, we'll see if you know, several of these here that are on the plant will actually ripen completely before winter starts to set in. And then back here, the last one again, and I still don't see any fruits. There's lots of flowers now. I think a few are trying to set in, but this is that Primotalii that you saw up there with the really cool hooks on the pods. I was hoping to really get some good ones off of this year, but I'm not sure if we'll actually see any other than that one, or actually I think there were a couple on the one on the rooftop that we'll be able to harvest here in the next week or so as they fully ripen. But all in all, you know, the plants I think have done pretty well, and several of them have produced really nicely. But again, some of them not as much so, and I consider that more my fault than the plant's fault. Hey, Georgie, what are you doing, buddy? Huh? What's going on, dude? Huh? What are you up to? So as we move on to our alleyway pepper garden, you can see here I've got this little patch here of 3 pepper plants that I grow in this just little space here between mine and the neighbor's carport here, and we call these our Tres Amigos Poblanos, and there are poblano pepper plants. And as you can see, they got some nice beautiful pods growing on them. We'll have to harvest those up. make some chili rellenos. But yeah, really great peppers that we're seeing off of these here. And of course, they're growing in ground versus our containers. But I wanted to show you this one here. And it's a volunteer that popped up. And it crossed with something in a previous season, last season. Maybe one of the poblanos crossed with some other variety or something. But this is something I see in other ones that have crossed as well too, is this kind of odd shape pods, and they kind of have this similar characteristic. But I don't know, we'll have to test those out and try those out and see what kind of flavor we end up with, or if they're hot or not. But cool little volunteer. Always nice to see those in the garden. And let's finish up across the alleyway here in our wood box that we have here, holding up our water wicking buckets. And out here, we're growing just a couple of the sweet varieties. We've got more of those really cool, awesome, sweet Dos Landes peppers. And these plants out here, especially these Dos Landes ones, are just, again, more of those super producers. Just a ton of fruits all over the plants. We've got to pick out some of those really ripe ones here real soon. We've got those on the ends, one here, one over on the end over here as well, and the 4 in the middle are the variety, the Ozark Giants, producing these nice big bell peppers on there. And we've actually harvested a few weeks back, took a bunch off of here, and it's still producing more. Got new ones even forming on the plants still. Back here too, we got more of those there. But again, these are producing lots. We're getting plenty off of these. The one issue that we have with these is we also had several of our pods that got burnt, sunburnt. And here, let me show you here. Here's one here too. So, you know, the thing is that peppers are sun lovers. They like to be out in the sun. You see all of the seed packs talk about having them out in full sun. But if you have really extreme heat, hot days, your pods will actually burn. And they can get even worse than this here. And so we had that issue with several pods as well. Gonna have to take a strategy of utilizing our shade cloth like we do up on the rooftop during some of those really hot periods of the summertime in order to try to protect the plants. And as well, you can see too, even in the leaves, you can see that they get kind of wilted and all of that. And that's just them trying to survive through that real extreme heat. But I figure if we can kind of set up something here this next season to kind of create kind of a shade cloth over them, we can be able to get better production. Or, well, I mean, it produce really well, but at least get the plants a little bit healthier and maybe even grow a lot better, as I'm sure that also not just wilted these down, but kind of stunted the plants a little bit. I mean, they look pretty nice, but they should be nice and full, and even though they produce really well, we'd be getting a lot more off of them too. So that's what we'll take as far as our strategy this next season. And hopefully, again, we'll get some really great pepper varieties here out on the alleyway. Another thing I'll say is I only put sweets out here because this is an alleyway where we get folks who walk through here and everything. And I don't want people picking some of those really super hots and not expecting what they're getting if they do come by and grab them, because we will have folks come by and help themselves to some of these, which is fine. I fully expect that growing in the alleyway, but definitely don't want them burning their faces off. What are you two doing? Huh? What's going on, Dexter? How's it going, boy? Yeah? So, all right, everyone, really awesome, really great. Walk around and look at the different garden spaces and all of these different pepper plants that we've been growing out this season. We've been getting lots of great pods off of many of our plants. Some of them, not so much. And in a few instances, those plants really are dealing with a lot of different struggles throughout this year. And like I said, it's probably a lot of gardener error when it comes down to it. There's some issues that I definitely could have been better at taking care of and dealing with certain things, especially that time I took off and I didn't water those buckets in and all of that though too. So that happens to all of us, the best of us, even all of us longtime gardeners who've been growing for years. We still make some of these mistakes and have some of these issues. But all in all, I'm still pretty happy with how most of our plants turned out and the harvest that we've been getting off of them. So again, really good pepper year ultimately, and definitely looking forward to what we can do this next season. As I mentioned, we're going to continue this pepper playlist, and we're going to continue it throughout this winter. As I mentioned, a couple of different projects I want to work on, doing some overwintering and starting a couple new generations of those pods that we're saving seeds from, and then a couple of other things as we get moving into this next season, and then we'll see what happens this next year. This year I did kind of do more of a no expectations when it came to the whole garden in general. So next year we're going to put a little more effort into it and make sure that we're on top of things, and we'll see how things turn out as well as we keep moving forward. So again, thank you all so much for being a part of this playlist this year. And again, as we continue to grow forward, I really appreciate all of you and all of your contributions and comments and suggestions and all of that. Definitely drop into our comment section down below. I'd love to hear from you still. And let me know if you got any ideas for things that we could do as we're moving on into this next season as well. So before I head out, definitely click that thumbs up, hit the like button, subscribe, hit the bell notification to be notified of all of our upcoming videos and our live streams. Come and join with us on the weekends for the Let's Get Growing show too. Every Saturday and Sunday, we've got awesome guests from around the gardening community joining with us to talk all about how their gardens have been growing and learning a little bit more about their garden journeys. It's such a fun show. I really look forward to seeing all of you there. And yeah, I'll see you on the next video.